Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Jim Warren. Welcome to Everyday Asphalt. Glad to have you guys here today. The purpose of this program is to go a little bit deeper in the areas of design, materials, construction, and maintenance. We post all these programs on our YouTube site. And go to YouTube and type in TechSAPA or the Texas Asphalt Pavement Association. Go ahead and click on like and subscribe and click on our playlist for Everyday Asphalt. All our programs are up there. We also take this program, we put it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you can drive down the road and learn more about asphalt. So we're glad to have everybody here today. Our guests today are Freddy Escobar, Jimmy Totten, Mike Crum, and John Wickes, all from Lone Star Asphalt Paving, and we are glad to have you guys here. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
We good?
Yes.
Man, we're going to have fun today. I've never done a group this big. But this is a big topic, and we're going to talk about improving ride quality. And they're here. They generally work here in the Austin area, and I get to drive their roads. And I've been really, really impressed with what you guys have been doing. And we, as an industry working with TechStop, have been spending a lot more time talking about ride quality lately and how we can improve it. And I was like, well, how best just to check? Let's talk to the guys who do it for a living. And you guys are out there every night. Let's talk to you guys and let's get a little bit more information about how maybe we can do things better, okay? Because that's what we're about here. So that's the purpose of today. We're here. We're just going to have a conversation, and so we're going to start talking about design stuff because you guys, you can only build what the designs are, right? And so let's start there. And we had kind of a little pre-meeting and stuff just to kind of get things going, but we want to talk about kind of two types of paving. One is like a conventional resurfacing or mill and fill, right? And then the other one would be these big jobs, these multi-segment, multi-year phased projects, and that's kind of a little bit different animal. So let's start with just a simple resurfacing, okay? And you guys are, the guys, Mike and John are project managers. Okay, and Jimmy and Freddie are superintendents, so you guys you're out there every night, and you're out there when I'm sleeping, and I appreciate that. But I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about, so what challenges do you see typically on a mill and fill job? Mike, do you want to kind of start? When you guys looking at a job and it's a simple mill and fill?
A lot of issues we have, and as far as design, I think we've done a lot of projects where we have milled a couple of inches down,
okay.
right? Okay. And we're able to put a conventional D-Dog, like a 76-22 down, right on top of that, and then traffic's able to run on that.
Right.
And then we're able to come back and fix a lot of the ride issues we're having with a Tom Mix or a PFC on top of that.
Okay.
We've had pretty good success with that. But sometimes we don't have that opportunity because of funding, where we just do a straight mill and fill.
Put two, take off two.
Some of the issues that we encounter there is scabbing with the underlying surface.
And describe what scabbing is for those
And
that don't
scabbing is where the miller will go through at a thickness, and then we do not necessarily get all the asphalt that was there existing out of there because it could be thicker than the thickness than we're cutting to, right? So it bonds to that with the tack that was there paved previously, and so that reflects through the mat pretty severely when you're overlaying. So if you don't get a good mill job done, where you're paving a consistent mat on top of that, it really affects your ride. So
and those scabs can break loose. I've seen where they under construct. I mean, they look like they're solid, and then you start driving. You clean it, and then you tack it, and then you drive your trucks on it, and all of a sudden you pave on it, and all of a sudden you get that thing breaks loose underneath there. So we want to be cognizant of those. When we're inspecting these projects and we have these scabs, we want to hey, let's deal with this thing now and not finish the job and then, oh, well, it's not a big deal, and it ends up being a big deal. Yeah. A lot of people don't even know to look at that.
Yep.
So what other things did you run into?
So we're in the metropolitan area, and a lot of paving goes on during nighttime when you're sleeping, right? So
most of the time I don't sleep that good anymore.
Paving at nighttime, your vision is hindered a little bit, so you can't pick up everything that's there.
That's a good point.
Right, and we're under strict timelines
Yep.
that we're paving under. So these guys do a tremendous job of getting the lane closure set, getting their equipment in areas sometimes that we can't imagine.
Right.
And then they're performing their magic when the lights go on at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Gotcha. Good deal. Good deal. Any thoughts? Comments?
Well, he say, I mean, if you don't see that until the vacuum come in and then start just cleaning everything, and then start suction all the little layers, and then you start and see all that, and then you have to pay that, like he say, and then reflect all the way to the top.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So we want to kind of be proactive on that wherever we can, right? When we talk about it at pre-com, we definitely want to talk about it pre-paving. What happens when you run into a scab? Okay, can we make an adjustment there? And is that scab going to run the whole way? Can we drop down just a little bit and peel that material off, or are we just going to have to live with it? But that does impact then the stuff that goes on top of it, and we just got to understand that, because that scab's not necessarily continuous; it's a localized area, right? And so you're down another half inch, and if you've only put a 1-inch tom, well, yeah, you're going to see that.
You're gonna see it.
More than likely, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, basically too, is when you start vibrating,
Oh, sure.
it's not gonna stick.
Okay.
And that scab breaks off on the bottom.
Yeah. And now we got a brand new job.
Well, then you gotta push
we
it
gotta-
on the asphalt.
Now
it
we got to go
cracks.
back and patch it, and that's it's got a brand new job with a patch in it. It's like, okay, all right, we don't want to do that. Let's just kind of back up just a little bit on the resurfacing stuff. Is there anything like specifically that would be like in the plan side or the contracting side that our folks that are watching this, if they're in that side of the business, could maybe do to help give us a long-term better ride from just starting out of the project?
Yeah, I think we talk about it a lot when we talk about design.
Okay.
Is opportunities for smoothness.
Okay.
So,
okay.
you know,
And what is an opportunity for smoothness?
multiple lists of asphalt,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay.
So a lot of times sometimes we'll get a job and it's just a 1-inch tom overlay. You're not going to improve your ride by a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's one opportunity for smoothness.
Okay.
Now, if you go out there and if you're just taking off 1 inch and just putting 1 inch back, that's really still only one opportunity
Right.
for smoothness.
Right.
Now, if you do a profile milling, that's a little bit different operation than a standard mill or a level up. That's an opportunity for smoothness. Or like Mike was saying, you take 2.5 inches out and you put 1.5 inches of dense graded back on the whole job, and then you
Okay.
put an inch of tom or PFC. Or,
Okay.
That's multiple opportunities for smoothness.
Okay.
So just generally, when we're talking, the more opportunities for smoothness, the more opportunity you have to get a better ride.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. So anything else on just kind of the overlay stuff? I mean, it's, you've got obviously opportunities to improve things. Again, you don't know what you're getting into out there. It could be you're fixing an existing road. You may have patching. You may have milling. And like you said, you could have milling for depth, or you could be profile milling where you're trying to basically mill for a grade, and you're going to be milling off variable depths of the asphalt. And that could maybe even cause scabbing, as we talked about earlier. And so all this stuff weighs in, I think, really to really doing the homework before we get into the job to figure out what you're going to do. And we're going to talk about manholes and all that sort of stuff later on, but that all makes a big difference then in the big scheme of things as to what we're trying to do. And people talk about, well, it's going to cost money and that kind of stuff, but ride is part of our deliverable.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we took a day off and go for a ride, and she doesn't. I mean, she knows more about asphalt than probably a lot of people do, just because she's been married to me for a long time. But most people can't even tell you what the pavement is, but they can tell you what a good ride is, and that's our public, and that's the people we're making these things for. And I think everybody, you guys, at the end of the job, when you guys have a really good job, that's a good job. Everybody knows what a good job is. When you get done, and it's not a good job, not because you didn't do your best, but because it just wasn't set up right. well, we're trying to save money. Well, you know, the public's getting really a substandard kind of job, isn't it? You know, and hey, we're doing everything we can do. Now, everybody has a bad day, but if a job just doesn't have the tools in there to do that, and I think that's one of the things TechSAP has been trying to do with TxDOT is focus on this ride quality stuff, doing these workshops in the different districts and that sort of stuff to try to bring up these issues. And so this is all really good stuff.
Yeah, one of the things that you hit on that I think is worth talking about is the full depth repairs or the patching that's in
Okay.
a job. So we see a lot of times there's not enough, square yards or area allocated to a job to address the failures. And the failures, obviously, everybody knows those ride bad. So you got to fix those first, and then if our quantities are minimal, then what the agencies start to do, and understandably so, is make these patches really, really small.
Okay.
So
Just
if-
the bare minimum.
Yeah, but
Okay.
just for round numbers' sake, if they only have 1,000 feet of patching to do, then where you should do a 60, 70, 80 foot long patch, they'll take that and make it into two 20-foot patches.
Oh,
And
okay.
I remember when
Okay.
you do those patching,
Yep.
the machine is almost 15, 20 feet long,
Mm-hmm.
and you only got 20 foot. So you're going in and then you're going out.
You're out before you're really in, right?
So, I
Yeah.
mean, so the ride right there is we try to achieve what they require is, but at the same time, it's
There's
no way
only
we
so
can,
much you can do.
it's so much we can do about
Gotcha.
it.
Okay.
And
That
then you
makes
got,
sense.
just like that, in a mile, you got 20 patches like that. They are 20 feet. So the road's gonna be up
Yeah.
and down, and then
Yeah, and then if you're trying to go back with one lift,
how are you gonna ride? I mean,
yeah. you're
and
just
that's why
gonna-
we are run, and then Jimmy run a bunch of times like that. I mean, and that's the argument we have a bunch of times.
Are those the jobs you want him to do?
Yes.
So it's how you
Now we do both. I mean,
I know, you guys do
It don't
great.
matter.
You
It don't
guys
matter
do
to
good
us.
stuff. You
Something to
guys-
think about too, Jim, is when we're milling and overlaying,
Yeah,
that trackless tack, I don't want to say it's junk, but it doesn't work on a milled surface.
okay,
By the end of the night, you got to remember all your machines are running in the wheel path,
okay,
okay?
okay.
And then by the end of the night, there's no trackless tack left. Everything's on the tires, on the paver,
Okay, okay.
on the road.
Well, it's hard to get those milled surfaces clean, right? And so the tack's sticking to the dirt, right? But then, a lot of agencies, they don't want to leave it open to a mill. They don't want to leave a milled surface open for a number of different reasons. Structurally sometimes and aesthetically for sometimes. But it's a challenge. You get some jobs where you mill them, you keep sweeping it, you're never going to get it clean. I mean, the thing that we always say, the best thing about a mill job is leave it open for a day or two, and let the traffic clean it off and then come back. But we don't always have that opportunity.
Actually, the best thing to do is macro mill. I mean, with macro mill, you don't get so many rods in the pavement,
Okay.
so it's easy to clean. And
Okay.
I mean, it's not like the railroad mill. Railroad mill, you got about an inch.
Right.
It's sticking everywhere, so I mean, it's up and down. And then the macro mill is more consistent. It's like
Okay.
put it back.
I hadn't thought about that. Okay. I hadn't thought
So
about
that help with the cleanup.
But that's a specific type of milling application
But we don't have it in every job.
Right. And so that would need to be addressed. It's a good tool, right? So it could be used, but I
Yes.
think we need to again make sure we don't just call it for milling. And then I'm thinking micro mill and you're thinking conventional mill, because that's going to be a
It's
different
two
cost.
different stuff.
Yeah, so absolutely, good deal. We need to be clear.
Jim, before we leave the design, we
Yeah.
do a lot of widenings,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
And so we'll come on and hook on like 8 foot of roadway
Okay.
on both sides of the road, right?
Right.
And we'll lay maybe 4 inches of B and then 2 inches of D.
Okay.
And then we're overlaying the whole road.
Gotcha.
Well, that 8 foot, we're sometimes not able to put a paver width into them widenings at all, right? And so our wheel paths are moving into them widenings.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
what we're talking about micro milling, if we had that tool in our toolbox
Okay.
to be able to profile that road for that widening, because we can't even pave for smoothness sometimes because we
Okay.
can't put the skis on the paver. The paver, we're hanging
There's
off
no
the
room.
side.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
We're hoping we get the right thickness sometimes when they're hanging the paver off off the old exposed edge, right?
Gotcha,
And then
gotcha.
we do the best we can
Okay.
to get that, and then when we go to overlay, you know, that final mat reflects that widening that was done unconventionally.
Okay. Good points. Good points. Good points. We are burning through time. I knew we were going to run out of time today, but I want to move on. I'm going to talk about these bigger jobs that you guys are, you know, typically not primed to. You're a sub now. You're going to go work for one of the big guys, and it's a big intersection job, multi-phase. There's a bunch of these projects around here right now that are multiple years long, and then you guys got to go pave it. So let's talk about what challenges are there from that perspective, and then what are the opportunities to try to maybe help rethink this from the end backwards instead of from the front beginning, because you guys are paving it from the bottom up, and I think they were talking about earlier, they already know what the final template's supposed to look from the top down, but how do you kind of meet, you know? So what are the challenges on these big jobs that are, you know, phased and long-term projects where they only have bits and pieces to pave? What are the kind of things you run into?
We run into a bunch of things here. We're on some of these big jobs, we have some big, thick conventional sections of pavement that are
Okay.
put down right on the subgrade. They're
Okay.
15, 16 inches thick sometimes. And to get the contractors out there to make sure that we're spot checked on the loader mats,
Okay.
to make sure that we're bringing them up in consistent lifts.
Okay.
Sometimes they want us to pave blind out there where they're not checking that grade behind us to make sure that we're hitting the correct thicknesses.
Okay.
Because if they're off on the bottom and they're off a tenth or two, right?
You're going to be off.
That's
yeah,
right.
It
And-
ripples up, right?
And if we're not getting that level up on that bottom lifts of our design,
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult to make the final ride when you're putting that level up right before the final lift.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
you're null and void building, and like John was saying, taking every lift and having an opportunity for that ride quality being better. They're waiting to the end to see that they have a grade bust instead of spot
okay.
checking it through the phases and making sure we're catching it in real time.
So
There
go
should,
ahead.
I'm sorry. There should be a point where they can check it before the final bottom lift get placed. If they can check it right there, like Michael said, we can level up as we build it.
Okay.
But if they don't check it and they just like, we're blind, and they just put 4 inches layer, and then 3 inches layer on top,
Okay.
and then on the final say, well, you don't meet the specification. So
You don't know where you're at, right?
where we are, I mean.
Okay. So if we can do, like, one of the things I think is a great idea is have a system where you are checking as you go, right?
Right.
And have these kind of these waypoints, if you will. It's like, hey, we're gonna put that first lift in, and hey, let's see where we're at. Do we need to be 4 inches? Do we need to be 3.5? Or are we getting our slope as we go up? So when you get to the final, now you're not trying to fix the ride, the slope, and the thickness all in one
Right.
operation, and you know that never really works very well. So those are good ideas.
And the way that things work around in our region, and I know and I understand the grade control systems, that they could upload the final grades
Yeah.
into our paver,
Yep.
and there's systems like that, and then we would just dial in a hold down on how far below the surface we want to pave.
Yeah.
But with asphalt being a time-sensitive operation for everybody around here, you know, we don't build them models for our pavers in
Okay.
this region, right? So
Okay.
we come in and we're running off of what they have below us, and
Okay.
we're running our sonar, right? And,
Right.
and it's providing the grade control that we're using.
Okay.
So if the grade below us is not right, then that means what we're
It's
paving
just
is
gonna
not
ripple
right.
up,
That's
right? Okay, I got it. So those have gotta be, from your guys' perspective, kinda tough, cause I hear all the time, hey, they want us to come in and pave, you know, this little piece and this little piece and this little piece. That's just gotta make you guys crazy, I would
Oh,
assume.
yes.
Well, our biggest challenge is we can't go boss around our contractor.
Can't tell them what to do.
No, it
Okay.
ain't gonna fly
Ain't
around
gonna
in our
fly.
shop either.
Okay, I got you.
And-
So you gotta try to be nice, but I think, again, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to think about opportunities where we can, give the traveling public, in the end, a high-quality, long-lasting, durable asphalt pavement, but it rides good, and it stays good. I know if you out there in your last lift and you're doing this with the mix to try to fix all that stuff, it doesn't stay smooth. It's gonna ripple back, and so we're not gonna maintain that ride over a long time. And so I'm just trying to think of ways where maybe we can, do some, like you said, do some intermediary checks, right?
Yeah.
To at least kind of figure out where you're at as you're working your way up. And I think that's a reasonable
What we
suggestion.
do, what we do when we start to build it, we always put the skis.
Okay,
Even they say they put 4 inches, and we try to build the ride as we build it.
okay, all right,
It help,
sure.
but if we can get some grades in place, will
Okay.
help more.
All right, there we
But I
go.
mean,
So,
we got the tools. I mean, with the skis, we can fix so much, but I mean, you can fix a quarter at the most.
Okay,
and
okay,
let's talk about how we can fix it at the top as well, Jim.
okay, please.
So we have these multi-phase projects, and in the last phase of construction before the final lift, it's very difficult to get the owners, and just not like here on 35, but a lot of the projects we work on, to restripe the road in the final configuration so we can get our IRI machine out there to give us a initial ride.
Okay. all right.
That is very great information that we could take back to the owner and say, hey, we have a rough profile on this 1/10 of a mile on this 1/10. Hey, would you be
Fix
willing
this,
to
fix that, fix that.
participate in a
Yeah.
micro mill or a level up? But if we're not given that opportunity, give them that information, then I think the industry misses that opportunity to get the good rides that we could get.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
it's always back to a funding at
Yeah.
that point, which I think striping is very cheap compared to a ride quality that we want to be there for a long time.
I mean, that just seems kind of simple to me, but I mean, if all your paving's doing this, but the final roadway is gonna go like that, you kind of want to know where you're at, right?
Right.
And so I think that's part of the challenge. And I know from the GC side, I mean, they're trying to build it best they can, as quick as they can, and if they get a section done, they want to cover it up and all that. But I think maybe there's an opportunity to kind of, if what our end goal is includes a really good ride, like you said, we build it from the bottom up. And take those opportunities to do that. I think we're going to have a better opportunity in there. So,
That's correct.
any other thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
I think one of the things is, I think going back tying it to the design is you got to understand that if you're building a multi-year, multi-phase job, and you're paving a 4-foot, 18-inch widening on this side, and then a different section on the other side, and then you've detoured traffic 3 different times, 3 different ways,
Mhm.
with different temporary detours that they
Sure.
call temporary, but they're actually going to be left in place. If you
Oh, okay.
if you
Okay.
know that
Okay.
stuff, if it's designed that way, you should know at the end of this job, we're gonna 1.5 inches of SMA is not
gonna fix
going
it.
to make that road smooth.
Okay.
So to put the tools, put the opportunities of smoothness in there
Okay.
in the job beforehand,
Okay.
and say, hey, we're going to account for, a complete 1.5 inch level up or something like that, to give the opportunity before we put the final lift on. We know that this road is going to be all
Get
over
it
the
all
place.
tightened up.
Let's put a mill,
Okay.
a mill and some dense graded mix in before the final overlay.
Okay.
Because if you know that the job is segmented like that, there's no way that it's gonna tie in perfectly.
Okay.
So given those opportunities in the design is always better than going for asking for money later.
That's a great summary. That's a
Mhm.
great way to kind of pull that together. I want to move on. We've got we're about halfway through already, and I want to kind of cover some other stuff. We can come back if we want to and pick up some other stuff, but I want to make sure we kind of at least cover some general notes here. Let's talk about materials. Okay. You guys have, lay all kinds of mixes, right? Austin area typically lays a certain type of mix, but I know you guys work in other areas. So, some of these mixes are kind of seasonal, right? Tom mixes are pretty seasonal and pretty much, I mean, you're in the middle of it now, but you kind of get started late and you got to end up early, and a lot of times jobs get kind of skewed around. How does that impact from a scheduling side? Just trying to get all this stuff done, but that's just,
Gotta look for temperature, what the temperature is around, and then after that is just go after.
okay.
So the forecast, you gotta do a lot with what we do, what
Okay.
we build.
Okay.
So most of the times.
Yeah, see, last year we we were late getting started because the temperatures didn't warm up to our liking
Okay.
for the surface mixes on the Tom and the PFCs and the SMAs, and we really struggle later part of the year too when it starts getting cool.
Because you're paving at night.
We're paving at night.
Yep. And you
We're-
lose that sun.
If
Yep.
we're milling inland, we can't get the road dry. We're trying to spray the tack on a wet area now, right? And so we're just compounding problems.
You're getting, all these things are starting to stack up against
So
you.
you lose a little bit of production because you're doing extra effort to make sure that your underlying surface that you're paving on is correct.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Well, your biggest deal is have a good game plan.
Okay.
Okay, you need to have a good game plan to begin
Okay.
with.
So
And get everybody on board.
who's involved in making the game plan?
It's just normally me and my guys. Everybody
Okay.
needs to know what's happening.
Okay.
You
No,
know?
it's time from them. It's time from
You
them.
don't
It's
do
time
that.
to us. It's time from the president of the company all the way
Okay.
to where we are.
It's a
Okay.
group effort.
It's a group
It's
effort.
a group effort.
Okay.
They put the tools together and they say, okay, this is what you're gonna have.
Okay.
We're gonna meet together tomorrow so we can look the job, and then after that, him and me we decide how to build it.
Okay. All right.
And thank God we got the freedom to do it on this company.
Okay.
We can.
So you guys are actually looking at the plans and say, okay, we want to start here, go this way, we want to do this part, and then we're going to jump over here, do this, and no one's really saying, whatever, but you have that freedom to kind of like think about the best way to build it.
Plans,
based on your
what are
experience.
plans?
Yeah. And then you calculate the turnaround the truck. Is you got the freedom to add the trucks that you need.
Okay.
You got all that, and the plan is almost by yourself most of the time, not all the time, but for Tom, we got lucky there. His design just stayed for us.
Okay.
They build the mix just for us.
Okay.
That's a plus
Okay.
because we control the plant, and then we can do everything we want with the plant at a certain point. But it's just the planning. On trucking, people, equipment,
Okay.
the cleaning, milling. It's the process to go through all that.
Okay.
Plant, when to fire up, when to not fire up, when to delay, because if mix sits in a silo too long, it affects them guys out there
Sure,
on the road.
sure.
Because we'll get a cold spot in the silo that breaks off and they drag in with the screed. It's
Yeah.
very, these guys are so experienced in what they're doing and they do a great job to kind of foresee them problems before they happen.
And particularly as we get into kind of the higher grade binders that cool off really, really quickly. It's game over. You're gonna pick the machine up, push the material off, reset and go, because you're never gonna get that stuff to come out without causing
Well,
problem. I saw that I've seen that on a bunch. I saw one of your jobs, and you guys just did it. I think you just did. You had some sort of hand signal, and everybody knew what to do, and they went and got the loader and pushed the material off and reset, and they were off and running again. And it wasn't a big deal. I think that's, to me, a really good sign of just having good leadership, and you guys know what it's going to take in order to do the right thing. And so, and that job that we're talking, one of the jobs we're talking about is this 130 job up here in outside Austin, and it's amazing. And we could talk a little bit about that's a job to kind of talk about maybe tools.
Yeah.
Right? You want to just kind of briefly talk about
I
that a
think
little bit?
We've hit on opportunities for smoothness plenty of times, but that one truly is a concrete surface, existing surface, and we came in and this is per the design. They gave us an item to continuous, do a continuous concrete mill.
Okay.
And
And they did
so-
patching before that?
So, yeah, so.
Or did
I
they,
guess-
did they mill first and then patch, or
No,
patch
they-
first and
they
then mill?
patch first and then mill.
Okay.
So we did all the concrete patching, and then we milled every square yard of the travel lanes.
Okay.
We didn't mill shoulders or ramps, but every square yard of the travel lanes, we did a concrete mill. And we took an IRI beforehand. After they milled, we took an IRI, and they had a standard that they had to meet.
And that was a nice, I mean, they did a really good job milling.
Yes, they definitely gained a lot.
Yeah.
Or decrease in the IRI.
Yep.
And then per the design, we came in and we put a lift of Tom F. So we had a lift of.
We had
of
an
asphalt.
underseal too, right?
Underseal,
Yeah,
yeah.
underseal
Yeah,
and a
Tom
Tom
F.
F, yep.
And then we paved all of that, got it down, and then ran an IRI, and then came back and put an 1.5 inches of PFC.
Okay.
So that was 3 opportunities for smoothness on that, and the ride definitely reflects that.
And you were down in the 20s, I think, on that job when you
Yeah.
got done with it, which is amazing from a ride perspective, because what that was before was,
It was in the 300s.
yeah, it was amazing. So you guys really, really kind of knocked that one out of the box. And you were mentioning earlier about a job, was it on 95?
095, yes.
And that was-
Outside Taylor
that's
by
pretty
Granger.
simple job, right? Mill and overlay.
Yes.
Or what, was it a
It was a milling overlay.
mill and overlay? Okay.
Yes.
So
A
describe,
macro mill and overlay.
describe what you did there.
We got 2 sections. We got one is almost 2 miles, and the other section is around 6 miles.
Okay.
And then some section, well, the small section was mill overlay the whole thing.
Okay.
That was in Taylor, Texas.
Okay.
And the second phase, well, that was in Granger, Texas. That one was in mill and sections.
Okay.
But it was we laid Tom on top of that.
Okay. And everything I hear about that, that was just,
You know, we drop it, I mean, to on the upper 25, 28, I think it was.
Jesus, that's amazing.
So, I mean, and I'm proud of the crew because they did a good job. I mean, everything, lines, layout is 0 bumps.
Okay.
For me, I mean, it's amazing what the guy did.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
Because, I
Good
mean,
deal.
we don't have no bumps. I mean, normally you get a couple, there's penalty on that. But it's a great opportunity to do it right.
Awesome. Awesome. I hear a lot that, and I've heard, and I haven't had the discussion with you guys about, but I hear from some people is there's this relationship between, you know, the plant producing mix and then the roadway guys, and you've got the plant density that you're trying to meet and the plant properties you want to meet, and then, you know, maybe I make a change in the, you know, if I'm trying to hold everything at the plant right, but you're having trouble with the mix and you want a little bit of change, and they go, hey, I'm not changing anything because I'm not going to mess up my bonus, right? And then, but then you guys are trying to get density in the field, and you're trying to get ride. You ever run into that? Have you ever run into that situation where you have a little bit of a discussion, shall we say, with the plant guys about changes or that sort of stuff, or do you kind of work it out?
I work it up, I mean, all the time,
Okay.
to be honest. I mean, if I see change where the mix is you can see it's less oil or something like
Okay.
that, I just make a phone call and they quick fix.
Okay.
They take a core or they take a sample and they send it to the plant and they verify it and then
Okay.
and they fix it.
Okay, all right, so it's a really a good working relationship then, and it's a phone call away,
Yes.
and they won't like put you to voicemail, they'll answer your
No,
phone.
they answer me, yes.
Say, what do you need? And say, hey, we're seeing, but I think a lot of times, I mean, if you're running a plant, you're kind of blind, right? You're making mix and you're shipping it out, you don't know what's going on. You guys are the opportunity to kind of say, hey, everything's looking good, keep it up. Or, we're seeing something that's just a little bit different today. Did something happened or whatever?
We have a real good quality control team as well. Them guys in the field on the ground,
Yep.
they have the gauges out right when the mix hits the ground. As soon as it cools out, they cut in a core, sending that back to the plant
Correlated.
to
Yep.
correlate to make
Yep.
sure we're getting
Okay.
our density right.
Good,
And
good.
sometimes we're having to pound our mix more than what we want in the field. that affects our ride.
Oh, sure.
As much, and,
Yeah.
and the materials we have in Central Texas affects that with the soft limestone, and we really struggle sometimes to, get density because of the limestone. We have to hit it so hard,
You don't wanna
so
hit it
many
too hard.
times. We got
Yeah.
a pneumatic. We're
Yeah.
we're rolling over it
Yeah.
7-8 times, and it's really an attribute to these guys, the
Okay.
quality they're getting with how much we're having to hit our mix sometimes.
Okay, cool. Anything else on materials?
I think one of the things we talk about all the time is that in order to get that density and a smooth ride, that final lift needs to be as close to uniform as
Oh,
possible.
okay, yep, okay.
So if we don't have a smooth road that we're laying an 1.5 inch SMA on, if Freddy's running skis on his SMA and he's paving anywhere, from 1.25 inches to 1.75 inches, which is allowable per the spec, but the compaction is very different on 1.25 inches as it is 1.75 inches.
Sure.
And the rollers don't necessarily know that.
They can't, yeah.
They see a smooth map.
Right.
So I feel like I'm trying to champion this opportunities for smoothness thing, but if it goes back to that, if we had a chance to do a level up or to have an intermediate lift, then you have a smooth ride to then put a uniform surface on.
Yeah, and from
Trying to put
yeah,
density on.
that's a perfect example, and also from a uniformity standpoint, from a performance standpoint, it's all going to work the same at that point.
Yeah.
If I'm thinner in one area and thicker in the other area, and maybe I'm thinner on the downhill side where all the trucks are. Well, I kind of needed it more thickness in that area than others, and so again, it's just a matter of trying to build it from the bottom up, right? Do those things to give yourself an opportunity to have those uniform lifts, right, in the process, and then you get on with it. Good deal. All right, I want to move on to construction. We got about 10 or 15 minutes left. So, I've seen the number of your crews work, okay, and I've been on both of your jobs. I've been on your job several times, and I just see everybody just kind of working together. And I don't see any yelling or hollering, or maybe I'm just there on the off days or something, but everybody just kind of knows what they're doing. How do you guys do that? How do you set that culture? How do you set that culture up with your guys?
It's mostly showing the guys that you care what you're
Okay.
doing.
All right.
And you have to take pride in what you're doing also.
Okay.
So they just follow that,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
They will respect that and follow it.
If you're willing to do it, they're willing. They know you'll put the
Yes,
work
sir.
in too. Okay.
Mhm.
Got it. How about you, Freddie?
It's just treat like family. It's just you wanna treat those guys the way this guy treated me. So everything's related together. And then it go from the lead guy to the script guy. I mean, it just pass all to the next level, all the way to the labor.
Okay.
You gotta treat it with respect, and then teach it that you got the control to do something right
Okay.
for the public and for ourselves.
Okay.
Because I like to go back and be proud of what I built behind.
Absolutely. You should.
So
Yep.
and the guys, they say, man, we win that job. So and then it looked good, it looked clean, and so they're proud about what they lay.
Okay.
So it's just a respect and then care.
Okay. You have a lot of guys been with you for a while?
Yeah, I got a bunch of people there on the 30 years.
30 years?
Yes.
Wow. How
So-
about you, Jimmy?
The same thing.
Same thing?
But
That's
you know,
amazing.
it also helps too to be able to know everything that they do.
Okay.
To be able to roll, to be able to run the loader, to be able to run the pavers,
Okay.
to be able to rake, to be
Okay.
able to shovel. And
So you know what to expect.
Mhm.
I've been there, I've done it. If you need some help, I can show you, whatever, but it's like, well, I don't, I'm just the boss and you guys gotta go do that. But you're willing to get in there and do it with them.
And sometimes we go beyond because sometimes I'm on the north side, Jimmy is on the south side of Austin, and we communicate every day through the night. hey, how your days going?
Oh, you're talking to each other while you're
Yeah,
doing
we-
your separate jobs?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We tag each other, hey, how your days going? Oh, it's going good. How you got trucking? How you doing this?
Okay.
And then we kind of bouncing back and forth. And sometimes when we had the same trucking, they say, hey, I'm short over here truck. Can I borrow one of your truck?
Okay.
So it's just,
It's
it's
really a
communication,
team effort.
yes.
It's not
Team
just a
effort.
project level.
it's not just one
It's
side.
a company team effort.
Yes.
Okay, oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. So I wanted to talk about a little bit. Go back to surface preparation, base repairs, and milling. We kind of talked about that earlier. One of the things that always, when we were talking about it today with another group of folks, we're talking about kind of manholes, water valves, and curb and gutter. Okay, how does that relate to smoothness?
It don't really know.
They don't.
They
That's a
don't.
constant struggle.
I mean,
It's
please.
it's a very sensitive topic with customers. They want to sometimes raise the castings too quick,
Okay.
and so if they do that, then we're not able to continuous pave. So I really try to get out in front and have them cut the castings before we pave, right?
Okay.
And then before we pave our final lift, they'll come and raise their
Kind of raise
castings.
up.
And we're able to float our screed right over the top of the casting at that
Okay.
point, right?
And get them make sure at the right elevations.
Right.
And
And
slope.
if they don't, and we just have like obstacles all around the job, right? And the guys can only pave to a certain point with the screed. They got to pick up. We make a
On
joint.
like a lower lift.
Yes.
Okay,
on the
lower
okay,
lift.
gotcha.
And so they pave crazy sometimes, turning the paver odds and ends and not the flow of traffic
because all
because
that
of the way
stuff's all randomly
the
located. everywhere.
manholes, because for some reason they can't design a water line straight down the road and put the manholes and water valves in the center of the wheel path, right?
Right.
They're always in the wheel path, it seems like.
Well,
where
funny how
it-
that works, isn't it?
Yeah, and if they could just scoot it about 2 or 3 feet and we'd be in the middle of the road, it would solve a lot of ride quality
Okay.
issues.
Okay.
And maybe I don't understand the design of them water lines sometimes, and I'm sure it's more complex than we give it credit for, but
But you're trying to. I mean, it's part of your structure, right? I
Right.
mean, it's in the roadway, and you're trying to fix all that stuff. So I mean, it's just
and I
we've got to
find
try to. It's always
when they raise them too quick,
okay.
they're not at the correct grade, because you wouldn't believe people lose string line. They cannot pull string line from curb to curb to make the
And
castings
you're
correct.
high, this high on one side,
That's
that
right.
low on the other side.
Because
You're
they'll come out and they'll have surveyor with his GPS or
whatever
his
they're using.
machine, right?
Yeah.
Give him grade instead of just pulling the old faithful string line from curb to curb and using that as the grade.
They want to come and put those manholes to level,
Okay.
and the road got 2%.
So the
So-
roads are going like this, and
So the
like
manhole is
that.
like this, and the road goes sideways. So
Okay.
I mean, how you build that? There's no way to build it.
You're going to be
We
high on
just
one
match
side
it
and low on the other.
as the best we can.
Yeah. Okay.
So the right quality
Would
is
you
gone.
would you rather them just leave the castings down and pave and then raise later?
That's
so
the
you
best
can
thing to do.
get a smooth ride, or I'm sure that's
So
got other
that-
issues as well.
So on one job, they're already raised, and it's a minefield out there, really paving a minefield with all the castings.
Sure.
And so one of the obstacles is making the owner understand that, hey, we have all these obstacles that are going to affect the ride. You know, we need to make sure we leave these sections out that have these obstacles in it, because the design is a bump by
Your design,
design, right?
You're designing
So
a
we
bump
put
the
bumps
pit.
in the road, we don't need to be penalized because of the design,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And so we try to push that to every 1/10 of a mile. If there's manholes or castings in there, you know, we're able to leave them out.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Any other ideas there? What about curb and gutter? Probably need a whole show
Man,
this time.
yeah, we could
Okay.
do that. I mean, the curb and gutter starts with making sure the base is correct and the correct thickness is in the curb and gutter.
Okay.
So we're able to put our tools on the paver, and these got the paver set up and things that they need, just like we're paving for smoothness all the time and
Gotcha.
just paving a correct thickness and smoothness, taking the inconsistencies out of the base on the first lift, right?
Okay, yep.
And we're stacking them lifts consistently, like John's saying, to give ourselves the best achievable way for the best ride.
Right, okay.
And so it's hard to get the agencies on board to understand if they want us to follow the profile of the curb, that's going to reflect in our wheel path close to the
And
curb.
if the curb's going like this, and you're trying to match it, well, then the road's
That's correct.
gonna go like this. But if you're trying to lay smooth and the curb's going like this, there's gonna be areas where you're higher than the curb and lower than the curb,
Right.
and what else can you do?
And so we just finished a job like that, and I think the guys did a tremendous job on the underlying surface, because I did tell them not to follow the curb thickness. We pay for smoothness
Oh, okay.
the whole time, right? And
Okay.
so one of the issues when we got to the final lift was sometimes we didn't have the curb reveal. Sometimes it was a little thicker. So the guys did a good job of where we had too much curb reveal, matching that because we were just a little bit thicker,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And where we didn't have the curb reveal, we just paid for smoothness through there, and the job, wound up pretty dang good. So
That's a
I'm
lot.
really,
That's a lot of extra work.
really
Yes,
proud of the
trying to do
guys and
that.
what they did.
Yeah,
So
they really got to have their eyes on it.
yep.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. You guys got an inertial profiler, right? That's a big deal. That's a big investment. That's that's extra staff. That's certification. There's all this kind of stuff. What does that do for you guys?
I mean, that gives us an opportunity to know what
Up
hand we're
against.
dealt.
Okay. All right.
Before the job starts.
Do you
before the
go out
pre-con.
pre-bid?
Not pre-bid.
Okay.
But
once you
but
prior to pre-construction,
prior to the pre-construction meeting, we try to.
you do that on most of your jobs.
Yes.
Okay.
And that gives us the hand that we're dealt, and we know, what we're starting with. We can
Okay.
share that information with these guys, and they're so good at what they do that they can probably make the road ride without that information. But the more tools you give them, the more opportunity they're going to have to.
Particularly
have
for
a
maybe
great ride.
localized areas, everything looks good, but this one area we really got to focus on. Or
Yeah.
maybe got to do something different. But then you can go back to the agency and say, hey, this all looks good except for this one area. What can we do here to make this all kind of tie together? Do you do it in between lifts then, on maybe on some jobs? Like you can't have that one guy everywhere, but
He's pretty good.
Okay.
So he can be a lot of places. But when we pave multiple lifts on our overlay jobs, the ones that we control,
Okay.
then we do run it on the intermediate lifts.
okay, okay, awesome. That's great. I don't know too many guys who have those, so that's a pretty good deal.
It helps out on the phase construction jobs too,
Oh, sure.
because it's
Got
a
to.
huge help on selling that to our customers on where we at and how we might have missed some things in the previous phases
Gotcha.
on our ride to
Okay.
maybe get the owners to come to our side with the tools.
Okay. Should that be something that the DOT does as kind of as a normal scope of thing, is provide that information as part of the bid? Would that help you guys when you come to a better bidding?
I think that would help them understand what tools they need to put in the
Okay.
design.
Okay.
If
All
they
right.
know what their ride is before they let the job.
Okay. All right.
That gives them, they know where they're starting.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Joints, transverse joints. It's one of the things that bugs me the most driving through projects. And I see some jobs it's like, just like you hit that joint, you're just gonna go, oh, please, no. But other ones, it's like you can see where there's the joint, but you drive across and you go, was that a joint? And y'all do pretty good at that. How do you focus that? Because there's a technique to that. If you're only going thin, and you guys do a lot of thin stuff, how did you guys get so good at that?
Just remembering,
Go ahead.
just remember what you did the day before and the day before that,
Okay.
and remember when you screw up.
Well, we learn
Learn
from
from
hopefully
that.
we learn from that,
Yeah,
right? We don't
yes.
keep making the same screw up.
A lot of butt chewings, because we take the station grades that the general contractors put out there, right? And we
Okay.
put them under the screed,
Okay,
and then I just,
the grade
wow,
stake.
yeah, well, we got all them grade stakes where we started.
There you go. Good deal. Use a starting block. I love it.
No, it's time with the block. That's what the takeoff is. You put those sticks underneath, give you the thickness, and then you come back out at least a couple feet,
Mhm.
and then you take off, and then you remove that,
Mhm.
and then there you go. That's a clean joint.
There you go.
By the time you get to that joint, you already set up for the takeoff.
You're set up for takeoff.
I mean, you put to work your guys more than what required is,
Mhm.
but you're doing better job.
Okay. But you've done it so much, it's just
It's,
part
it's
of your
normal.
DNA.
It's part
normal.
of the
And
day.
you hit on it earlier too, though, the retention of these guys having their crews and the rakers and the guys on the ground. The guy on the roller, when to roll it, when to not, don't let it get too cold, right?
Mhm.
It all plays a part of that joint really getting done correctly.
And then the other thing is the roller bands.
Yeah, let's talk about. We've just got a couple of minutes. I just wanted to talk about rolling just a little bit. 'Cause
The roller man
that
on the
can make a
joint,
big difference.
on the
Yeah.
joint, they gotta go across and then gotta sideways
Mhm.
again, not just going straight. They gotta go sideways
Right.
and they get off and then they gotta go across. Up. So it's a lot of techniques that they gotta do to make it right.
Okay.
It's not just go in and roll. I mean, Jimmy got a roller man. It's almost how many years?
Yeah, he's 40 years, probably.
Wow. You got a backup for him?
Mm-hmm. Me and we've been together since the late 80s.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's cool. That's cool.
So I mean, he teach a bunch of the guys how to do it. So and he's very friendly to teach people.
Mhm. Good.
So
Good
I mean, it's
Good
just
deal.
relation what we talk about. But you got a good roller man on the joints. If he don't roll it right, you leave a bump right there on the beginning.
Yeah. But you can do that all the way down the mat, right? Just every time they reverse.
Every time the
That's going to
turn,
really mess
you
up your
gotta
smooth.
wind. Every time
Yeah.
you take off,
Yeah.
you gotta find where the shoulder is.
Right.
Don't park the roller on the middle of the mat. I mean, it's the technique that you have.
Okay.
And then everything starts from the beginning of the job, on the date that you're working. You have a safety meeting, then you say, hey, this is what we need to meet. This is the specification we have. This is what we're doing today. We're gonna lay 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and then you adjust the roller pattern.
Okay.
So it's
Based
just
on what you're doing.
what you're doing.
Okay.
So it's just it's not just go there and then let's
Wing
go.
it.
No,
You got a plan.
you gotta plan it.
Right.
And then day before you look at it, see what you got. So it's just every day is a planning what you're doing.
Do you guys do like at the end of the day, kind of like little debrief sort of deal, kind of figure out what went on, or do you kind of have it like? Was there anything we need to do? Because you guys talk about having a meeting in the morning, getting
We
things
bring
set
those.
up.
We bring we don't do it at the end of the day, but we do it on the follow day.
All day. Okay. Okay.
So and then we mention, okay, like you say on joints. Oh, I got 3 joints that wasn't right. So I point, okay, this happened yesterday. We need to fix it from here on.
Okay.
So let's go. How we gonna fix it?
So you have a plan to
We
fix.
got a plan, and we put a plan, and then we fix it.
Gotcha. Good deal.
Sometimes in the morning, that you say we have a near miss or we got people in, I'll get everybody together in the morning, let them know, man, we can't have this no more.
Okay. All right. So we're just resetting everybody to what the
Mhm.
standard needs to be for you guys moving forward, from a quality, from a safety perspective, from
Mhm.
everything.
And then beside that, like we talk about, we got the team, the quality control behind us.
Okay.
So the roller,
Are they talking to you guys throughout the night?
yes, constantly.
Constantly. Okay.
So they're talking to my roller man, they're talking to even to the little one roller behind, and they're talking to me. Okay, we need to adjust this because sometimes the roller will say, my paper is a mile away from me.
Yeah.
I'm way behind.
Yeah.
So I gotta hurry up and catch up with the paper,
Yeah.
and then the density go away.
goes down. Yeah. The other way.
Can do that.
Yeah.
So, and then he called, hey, slow down the paper because we're going too fast. And then we gotta just continue adjusting as we're
Put that
moving.
balance in there, right?
Yeah, it's a
Gotcha.
communication that we talk about. It's between the QC department, the rollermen's, the lead guy, myself, plant, and everything. It's just coordination.
There you go. Good deal. Good deal. We gotta start wrapping up here real quick. So what did I miss? Is there one thing that we can do today to try to make our roads ride better? What do you think? Is there one thing that, like, I'm gonna make you king for a day, okay? If you could change anything, what would you change right now to kind of like, for every job going forward, you have opportunities to do a better job. What would you change? Anybody?
I would,
You start, Mike.
so material delivery is so important.
Okay.
If we could consistently deliver material and keep that paver and the head of material and the paver speed
Okay.
and with the correct paver setup, right?
Okay.
Going down the road at a constant speed from start to finish in a perfect world.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
I mean,
okay.
and we dealing with truck drivers that stop and do whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes that's out of our control.
Okay. All right. Okay. John, from your side of the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with opportunities for smoothness and
Okay.
just, you know, and we're getting better about it, especially in the Austin district, but giving us the opportunity to give the best quality job and best quality ride. And it's truly not a money grab. It's hey, we need to do something here because it rides bad.
Yeah.
Here's what we can do. Let's partner and do it together.
Good deal.
I agree 100% with what he said. It's just the owner of the project, if we get together and resolve the problem before we can start paving,
Okay.
I mean, it's free ride
Okay.
from their own.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise we don't meet the specification at all.
Okay. Gotcha.
Just every job's different.
Okay.
Like a human being. Every job is different, okay?
Yes, sir.
Every day, every hour, every minute, every second is different. So I don't care how much you know, you learn something new every day,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
okay?
Yeah.
So-
Agreed.
And like I said earlier, just strive to be the best and care what you're doing.
Okay. Good deal. Man, I knew this was going to be fun. I don't know if you guys had fun. I had a lot of fun today. This was awesome. We're going to have to wrap it right there today, guys. I appreciate everybody being on the line today, live via YouTube and via podcast. Just a reminder that, again, these are posted on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcast. Just search for Everyday Asphalt on those systems, and it'll pop up. This program airs every third Thursday at 3 o'clock. You can go to texasasphalt.org and sign up. We'll see you guys next time on Everyday Asphalt. Be safe, everybody, and never forward. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.